From snake eggs to luxury bags, shocking transformation. The desert stretched endlessly, a valley of cracked clay and shimmering heat, where nothing survived except the creatures that refused to die. To most people, this wasteland meant death. To Ares, it meant a paycheck. He stood at the rusted metal gates of SerpentSilk Industries, a factory hidden far from civilization, where no journalist, no inspector, and no activist ever wandered. Stories of the place circulated in whispers, a factory that turned snakes into luxury leather. But nobody truly knew what happened inside. Ares swallowed hard, tightening his grip on the small backpack slung over his shoulder. Today was his first day, and he already regretted it. A guard wearing desert goggles and a rifle stepped forward. "Name? Ares Khan," he answered. The guard scanned a list, nodded, and pushed the gates. A hot wave of air entered his lungs, thick with chemicals and something worse. Inside, dozens of workers moved like ghosts through corridors lined with tanks, machines, conveyor belts, and enormous metal incubators. Each one hummed with a low vibrating sound. The lights flickered, giving everything a sickly yellow glow. A woman with a clipboard approached him. "New hire?" she asked sharply. "Yes, ma'am. I'm Supervisor Hana. You'll start in Section 3, Egg Chamber. Don't wander anywhere else. It's dangerous." Her tone warned him more than her words. As they walked through the dim hallways, Ares noticed signs on every door. No photos, no recordings, no questions. He swallowed again. "What exactly will I be doing?" he asked. She pushed open a heavy metal door. "You'll see." The room was enormous, humid, and bathed in red light. Giant glass incubators lined the walls, each filled with eggs, thousands of them, glowing faintly like living lanterns. Ares froze. Each egg was the size of a basketball, white with green veins pulsing like they had a heartbeat. His stomach tightened. "These are snake eggs?" "Pythons," Hana corrected. "Bred genetically for size and durability. We harvest the skin after hatching." "Hatching?" Ares whispered. "You raise them first?" She didn't blink. "Everything here has a purpose." Workers carefully rotated eggs, checked temperatures, and injected nutrients. Machines beeped. Steam hissed. Ares was assigned a station. "Turn the eggs every 2 minutes," Hana instructed. "If they stay in one position too long, the embryos die and their skin becomes useless." "That's a loss for the factory." He nodded shakily and got to work. Yet as he handled the warm, pulsing eggs, he felt something wrong. Like the unborn creatures knew they were being prepared for something unnatural, something cruel. Hours later, during a short break, Ares heard faint squeals behind a door marked "Authorized Staff Only." The sound drew him like a magnet. Before he could stop himself, he pushed the door open a crack. Inside were rows of metal tubs, filled with wriggling newborn snakes, their scales still soft, their eyes wide and terrified. Workers grabbed them with hooks, measuring them, injecting them, tagging them. Ares's stomach twisted. A worker laughed. "Look at them. They don't even realize they're going to be handbags." The baby snake squeaked, twisting helplessly. Ares backed away, slamming the door shut. The processing floor, a nightmare after his break. Hana appeared again. "You're transferring to Section 5. What's Section 5? He asked. She didn't answer. When he entered, he realized why. Section 5 was where the snakes, the ones grown large enough, were processed. Huge conveyor belts carried sedated snakes. Their scales glistened under industrial lights. They were massive, some nearly 20 feet long. Machines hissed. Workers with blades moved like performers in a grim dance. Ares gagged. His knees weakened. "You'll get used to it," Hana said. "We all did." He shook his head. I can't. You signed the contract. You don't leave unless we release you." Her words were ice. That night, while sweeping near the lower corridors, Ares heard a faint tapping, rhythmic, desperate, like knocking. He followed the sound to a door with thick chains. A red light flashed above it, strictly forbidden, but the knocking continued. Weak but pleading, he checked the hallway. No one. With trembling hands, he lifted a chain and tugged. It clanked open. The door creaked, releasing a wave of cold, stale air. A stairwell descended into darkness. He took a deep breath and stepped inside. The basement was filled with rows of cages, metal bars, reinforced glass, heavy locks. Inside each cage, not snakes, but creatures, hybrids, bodies like serpents, but with small clawed limbs, eyes that shimmered with intelligence, scales shaped like armor plates. They looked at Ariz silently, their eyes full of pain. Ariz stumbled back. What are you?" One creature pressed against the glass, weak and shaking. In a voice soft like a child's whisper, it hissed, "Save us." A chill ran down Ariz's spine. Then footsteps echoed above. He panicked and slipped deeper into the shadows. Supervisor Hana descended the stairs with 2 guards. "Keep them alive," she snapped. "Their skins are worth 10 times more than normal snakes. The hybrids are the future of this factory." The creatures whimpered. Ariz's fists tightened. This wasn't a factory. It was a torture chamber. That night, Ariz couldn't sleep. Those creatures haunted him, and their whisper, their fear, their innocence. He had only worked 1 day, yet he already knew he couldn't stay. But could he save the hybrids? He wasn't a hero, he wasn't strong. He was just a man desperate for money, but something inside him snapped. "No one deserves that," he whispered. "Not even a snake." He returned to the basement. Careful and quiet, the creatures recognized him immediately, pressing their faces to the glass. He found the control panel. His hands trembled. "If I open these cages, will you follow me?" The creatures stared. One nodded slowly. Ariz exhaled. He typed the release code he saw earlier. A long beep echoed. Locks clicked open. The cage doors slid apart. The hybrid slithered and crawled out, shaking, confused. "Come," he whispered. "Follow me." He led them through a back corridor toward the desert exit, a ventilation hatch that opened to the sands. Outside, but halfway there, alarms blared, "Alert, security." Breach guards poured into the hallway. "Run!" Ariz shouted. The hybrid scattered, slithering rapidly through pipes and cracks. A guard grabbed Ariz, slamming him against a wall. "You think you can release company property?" He snarled. Ariz gritted his teeth. "They're not property. They're living beings." Another guard cocked a rifle. "Dispose of him," but before he could pull the trigger, a low rumble filled the corridor. The hybrids returned. 50 of them, hissing, crawling, writhing with fury. They surged forward like a living wave. The guards screamed as the creatures overwhelmed them, slithering across their arms, faces, legs. No killing, only incapacitating. The hybrids had mercy. They freed Ariz and nudged him toward the exit hatch. One whispered again, "You helped us. Now we help you." He pushed open the hatch. Cold night air washed over him. The creatures slipped into the darkness of the desert and disappeared. By dawn, Ariz had reached the nearest town. He contacted a journalist within hours. The story spread. A secret snake leather factory conducting illegal hybrid experiments. The world reacted with horror. Authorities raided SerpentSilk Industries. The factory was shut down within a day. The workers fled. The building burned mysteriously that night, as if someone wanted to erase every trace, but the hybrids, they were never found. Some say they still roam the desert. Others say they dug deep underground to live peacefully. Only Ariz knows the truth. He still hears them sometimes at night. A soft whisper carried on the wind. "Thank you."